Alright guys, so I decided to spend my early morning before the Super Bowl on Sunday doing some PKHexing. I wanted to fix a few sets that I knew that were incorrect and it wasn't the way I wanted them. I also took the opportunity to gen a few new mons that I've been meaning to use. So in order to test that they are legal on Wi-Fi, because I wanted to make sure I did everything right, I decided to go to the old Serebii chat room and find a battle. And I ended up finding one against a guy named Demi-God. And the battle ends up being pretty excellent, so I decided to post it. Anyway, so I lead with my Garchomp, which is the one I'm running on Showdown. It's Bulky Chomp, which is actually pretty damn awesome in this current metagame. He's going to lead with a Thundurus. I was hoping that he would lead with Landorus, because I know that my Garchomp can actually, really punish Landorus, but I don't want to stay in against those, Thundurus, which almost always carry Hidden Power Ice. So I go into my Raikou, and I just try to go for the Volt Switch. Now, I do have Hidden Power Ice now on the Raikou. It's one of the things I changed. As you might recall, I was using a Raikou earlier that actually ended up having Hidden Power Dark. I fixed that, so now it's Hidden Power Ice, but I was too afraid that this thing might be a Choice Scarfer, because sometimes Landorus does have a Choice Scarf, so I just wanted to make sure that wasn't the case. Now that I see it switch its move, I know that this thing is probably, it's definitely not a Choice Scarfer, so I have to keep that in mind, that I can Hidden Power Ice that Landorus. Not to mention, because I switched it out, I'm thinking that he might not know that I have Hidden Power Ice, or think that I don't, or rather. So that's good for me, either way. So I set up my own Stealth Rocks, as he sets up his. I'm getting a little behind. As I go into my Honedge against the incoming Ice Beam of Melodic. Now, which is a salve mistake. It actually is supposed to be a Doublade, and I accidentally used its first form, Honedge. So hopefully that's not going to hurt me too much. I actually wanted to get a Doublade for UU team, but I thought it would be fun to bring along. And as I found out later, this is actually the wrong Pokemon. It should be. So I used Swords Dance, but he goes in his Heatran, which is obviously going to force my switch. And yeah, oh well. Although can pack a real punch after Swords Dance, being that it has decent attack and defense. So he goes for the taunt as I go into Garchomp, which I don't know why I went into this Garchomp, mainly because I did notice it had an air balloon, and my Garchomp can't actually hurt that Heatran or pop that balloon. So now I go into Raikou, basically just to break the hot air balloon, hopefully, as he just goes for the Toxic, which kind of hurts Raikou, but not really, I guess. I don't know. This is an Assault Vest Raikou, so yeah, it does rely a bit on its bulk. So it is kind of annoying to get that residual damage off on me. So I just go for the Volt Switch, which is going to break his, pop his out air balloon. So now I can go into Garchomp and scare this thing away. It's pretty obvious that he's going to switch. He's not going to keep it in against me, although he does get an Earth Power off. So I'm going to predict the double switch here, and I kind of am hoping that in fact, what I actually predicted was he's going to switch out into either Landorus or Thundurus. He ends up switching out into his Charizard, which is pretty damn excellent, because I end up double switching into my Raikou to counter the Landorus or the Thundurus. So this is not bad for me at all, because this is actually a Charizard Y. So as I go for the Volt Switch, he doesn't want to risk switching back out before Mega Evolving, being that he'll be down to 1 HP if he does that. So he's actually going to stay in, and he's Charizard Y, so he's still weak to Electric, unlike Charizard X. So he's going to be taken out to that Volt Switch, so that's pretty awesome for me. Like I said, I went for the Volt Switch because I didn't know what Charizard to expect, and I figure if it is the Charizard X, then I can just switch into something that can counter it. But now I have to show a Pokemon first, so I go into Superior. And I do that because I know that this guy is probably going to think, okay, my Heatran will counter this Superior. That's because most Superiors will carry Hidden Power Fire, but mine does not. I actually really like using Hidden Power Ground on Pokemon Showdown just for Heatran. Hidden Power Ground can OHIT KO any Heatran set after a Leaf Storm, after one Leaf Storm, so it's a very good move that can, if you're having problems with Heatrans coming in on your Superiors, try Hidden Power Ground, and you might be surprised how good it is. And that Heatran was weakened anyway, so I didn't even need the boost from Leaf Storm, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, so he goes out into Landorus, and I really don't want to take a U-turn, so I go back into my Garchomp, which will obviously punish him for it with the rough skin and the rocky head and all of that stuff. So, yeah, rocky helmet, whatever. So, yeah, Landorus is like, I'm sad because I just took more damage than I dealt. And, yeah, he goes out into the Thundurus. And I was hoping he'd over-predict, I think. So I end up staying in, and I end up dying to an Hidden Power Ice. which I really could have predicted and saved Garchomp, but really, he did a lot of work in this battle already. He set up the rocks and was withering down his team, so good job, Garchomp. So I go into Raikou now, and I'm just hoping my Hidden Power Ice will actually kill this thing. I'm in the back of my mind, I'm kind of thinking maybe he'll go into Landorus, and I can get the Hidden Power Ice off on that, but he doesn't switch. He ends up staying in and killing me with a Focus Blast, which he's lucky that hits, I guess. Which doesn't actually quite kill me thanks to my Assault Vest, although now I died to my Toxics, but yeah, that kind of sucks. Unfortunately, Hidden Power Ice was not quite powerful enough to kill this, so I go into my Honedge, and I do carry the Shadow Sneak to Revenge Kill, as well to get a priority move after a Swords Dance is pretty nice, so yeah, I just go ahead and kill this Thundurus, because I feel comfortable coming in, and I believe I can do it. And I do, so that's pretty awesome. But now he goes into Landorus and gets off the Intimidate. And even though this Landorus is now on red HP as well, after the Intimidate, I don't really feel comfortable trying to finish this guy off too. I think because Landoruses are typically physically bulky, not to mention that I have less attack now, I won't be able to kill it with a Shadow Sneak, so I end up going into Togekiss against the predicted Earthquake, which is pretty damn awesome for me. I know this thing's whole moveset now, so I know it doesn't have a Rock move, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I end up predicting a Switch or a U-turn, though. So I end up going for the Thunder Wave to try to paralyze whatever he decides to switch into. But he ends up knocking off my item first, so that's kind of a fail-tastic. And now he U-turns as I just decide to try to finish it off. So he played that pretty nicely. Keeps his Landorus around, and I don't get to paralyze something on the switch. He goes into Porygon 2, which ends up tracing Serene Grace, which isn't that bad at all, considering every move that Porygon 2 is typically carried does have a proc chance on something, and we end up Thunder Waving each other, which is kind of funny, although guess what I have that you don't have, Porygon 2? I have the freaking Heal Bell, so get wrecked. You can keep going for that T-Wave if you want to. I can just heal it off. And yeah, I know these things typically will carry Ice Beam and Thunderbolt, which are both super effective against Togekiss. My Togekiss, well, all Togekisses are very specially bulky, so I feel like I can take those, even super effective moves, pretty nicely. But this guy actually carries the Tri-Attack, which is actually really nice with Serene Grace. 40% chance that one of the 3 status conditions. He doesn't get it there, as I just go for a Roost. Yeah. Now that he is starting to get some Para-Hacks, I decide to add some Flinch Hacks into the mix by just going for Air Slash here. And, yeah, I feel pretty confident against this Porygon 2. I don't think it can really do much to me. If that's how much the crit Tri-Attack did, there's no way he's doing, much damage to me at all. Anyway, so he gets down to red. Unfortunately, I don't get the flinch there. He just goes for the recover, and now I'm just going to keep trying to go for it. Now, in the back of my mind, I know that if I can get to a turn that I know for sure he's going to recover, which is, low yellow or red, I can go into Honedge and maybe set up against this paralyzed Porygon 2, so that's what I do. I end up going into Honedge this turn, thinking that he's almost certainly he's going to recover. He's not going to attack, although it doesn't really matter because I can take a Tri-Attack anyway, being that I'm a Ghost type. Still, he still might have that Thunderbolt, I'm not sure. Regardless, I now go for the Swords Dance, because I know that I can just go for it. I don't think this Porygon 2 can have anything that can one-hit KO me. I do carry Eviolite, obviously, so even a Thunderbolt really won't do much. But he is going to try to get the T-Wave, and he actually plays this really nicely. He lives the Secret Sword because Porygon 2s are bulky pieces of crap. And, yeah, now he's going to go out into his Melodic as I try to go for a second Swords Dance, thinking he would recover. But he ends up playing this super nicely, and I was not expecting Haze on this Melodic, which completely wrecks me, because I thought, okay, Melodic. I have 2 Swords Dances, I'll just go for a Sacred Sword. I don't think it can kill me in one hit or anything, so I don't really need to go for the Shadow Sneak. But maybe I should have, because the Haze will reset my stat changes before I'm able to attack. Not to mention, well, I end up getting paralyzed anyway, or frozen in my paralysis, so it doesn't really, I guess, matter that I didn't choose Shadow Sneak, but still, I thought he played that Melodic pretty nicely, as I'm just going to go into Gyarados. Now, I do have the Superior, but I'm afraid that he might predict his switch in and cripple it with Ice Beam, so I decided to go into Gyarados instead. Now, he does have the Scald, and thankfully it didn't burn here. This is actually Mega Gyarados, so I'm going to Mega Evolve, and that will give me the resistance to Ice Beam if he does try to go for it, and he does. So I guess I didn't realize that I was a Mega Gyarados, because he does end up going for the Ice Beam as I Dragon Dance. And yes, I know it has Haze, but I Dragon Dance mainly to force him to waste a turn to do it. And I kind of want to see how much a Earthquake is going to do to this Melodic after a Dragon Dance. Unfortunately, I don't carry Crunch on this particular Gyarados, which I really probably should, because it's super, it's stabbed, not super effective, but it is stabbed, and that would make it a bit stronger than the Earthquake. But yeah, he is going to Haze, and I'm just going to try to get all the damage I can get on this Melodic, basically, as he goes for a Scald, and he does burn this turn, which kind of hurts. But looking at Melodic's HP, I heavily think it's either going to recover or keep going for the Scald, because obviously Ice Beam is resisted on my Gyarados, and he doesn't have a chance to freeze. So I go into Superior knowing that fact, and yeah, he does end up going to recover, and that's pretty awesome for me, because I don't think this thing can take a Leaf Storm. It looks pretty physically bulky in its EV spread, so I'm going to just go, well, actually, I end up going for a Giga Drain, because I misclicked. When I made this new Superior, I think I put Giga Drain in the first slot instead of Leaf Storm, which is where I'm used to it being, and then I click on that, and that sucks. Which ends up working out for me because I do crit, which really kind of sucks for him, but, I'll take it. His Ice Beam does not, do much to me after, well, it ends up taking me down to under half from full HP, so that's pretty good. But now I am going to click the right thing and just Leaf Storm. His remaining Pokemon are all weak, Melodic, Landorus, and Porygon 2, so I know I pretty much won at this point. I just go for the Leaf Storms to get the special attack boost, as he goes into Landorus, and that's going to die. So now that I have the special attack boost, it's pretty much good game. There's nothing he can really do. Because all of his stuff is going to be outsped and killed. But still, that was a very long and very good match, and I have to say, I do like some of the changes I made in PK7, some of the new Pokemon that I gen. Not all of them are in this battle, but I wanted to bring some of the ones, but some of them, just so I can test that and make sure I did everything correctly. Hopefully the other ones are also correct, and I kind of wanted to make a team out of it. Like the Gyarados that I used isn't new. It's an older. It's a one that I've had, but I wanted to include a water just to round out the weaknesses. Regardless, that is a good game. Like I said, Demi-God, very long and very good. Today's question of the day, since I did focus a bit on hidden power, considering it's one of the main things I really wanted to change on PKHex is the hidden power of some of my mons. But what if you had a hidden power? What would it be? I know it's kind of like a fun little question of the day. Try to be creative with it. For example, I'm a computer science guy. I do computer development work, so I guess I would be hidden power steel or hidden power electric, because that's just technology and stuff. But yeah, leave a comment about what you think your hidden power would be, and I hope that you will rate, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you again next time. So good day, everyone.